a message that I wanted to share today, and it's really for those of you who, for the last 2 years, have been aware of the struggle that you've been in to find your path forward in life. Now, for some, it's not a struggle. For some, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. It just all starts well, moves well, flows well, and goes well. That is not the case for a lot of people. So if you have been struggling to find your way, I want to share a little bit about what that looks like, because the first part of your struggle is feeling it. The second part is being aware of it and asking questions. And usually most people start and stay with, why me? I was in that situation for a while, but because of the nature of what I had to go through, I moved out of that very quickly. And some of you already know that story. So I'm not going to repeat it here. But what is important is to understand the spaces that you move through with your consciousness and your energy. And when you transition out of the why me, or as I call them, the why nots with a K, K-N-O-T-S, you shift your energy and you start to begin to balance what is within you with what is outside of you that you're experiencing. This is not about creating your own reality. This is about crafting your balanced experiences in life. And the point of this is, in the work that I do with my clients as a life coach, as a master energy healer, now as an author and a speaker, one of the things that I do is, when you've pulled yourself up, or someone has helped you, and you're now standing in the shallow end of the pool, what happens next? Because you're going to have that experience again and again and again and again, just different variations of it. And eventually you're going to be exhausted. And eventually you're going to recognize that you've been in a setup. Now, for those of you who are asking good questions, your question will be, what is really going on here? It will not be why or why me. And that's when you begin to understand the system of separation. And for some of us, because of our genetics, I won't go into that here. It's a quite long, complicated story, but it's really worth knowing. You are equipped to survive. You are equipped to survive and be used again and again and again, literally, as in the Matrix, like a battery for the system of separation. Only you don't know this, and you don't know how to get out of it, because you haven't yet been able to reclaim all of who you are emotionally. I know it took me so long to feel the extraordinary vulnerability of that day in the pool, and of other times where I was not safe, where I was not protected, where I had to look out for myself, where I refused to ask for help, where I became a leader and people asked me for help. And that's great. But when that happens, if you haven't dealt with all of your feelings as powerful creative energy, then what happens next? You can maybe identify a narcissist. And what do? You put on a mask. You become invulnerable. You won't go near them. You won't let them touch you. You won't let them make decisions for you. You become very wily and crafty on how to work around their plays in the game. And everyone is your opponent. I'm thriving now. I've made it through. I've helped many other people in the course of my time as a life coach and an energy healer. And that's always been because I was open to what I call the third way. And that way is direct connection to a source of your, thank you, phone validation, source of your being, your direct connection to source within, up, down, all around, in every form of circular evolution that you go through, which I call the living spiral. And now you're ready to be a co-creator. And now you're strong enough to trust your own vulnerability. And that's when you win the game. When you know your own vulnerability, you see the game for what it is, and you trust yourself and your vulnerability to see you through to winning the game and clearing the board. We're living, as many of you are aware of now, we're living in this massive energetic hologram. And if you don't understand that, then don't watch the rest of this message. You have more work to do before you understand that. That's okay. So, I wanted to really bring you home to yourself. And that last leg of what is a really, really Olympic relay race, where you're running your leg of the race for your team. And you've got to really, really run for your life and for all of who you are and for all of the hard work that you've done. And now you're running to share and show and shine. And that opens other games and opportunities. And you still have to move through these new spaces with integrity and with trust and with vulnerability and with grit and with grace. But you do it with your whole self, your whole being, because you've now fully connected to your whole being. So I'm particularly talking today to young people, women and men in their early 30s, because you're evolving much faster now, because people like me and others in lifetimes along various timelines have always chosen the same path, which is the path of conscious co-creation and collaboration, even at the cost of our lives. Again and again and again. So if you are now feeling like you're on the precipice of just living at least one full run of your life purpose in whatever way you're choosing, that allows you to show and shine and be the sound of who you are, not just the light of who you are, because the light can lead you into an invulnerability, where sound will always shake the truth of who you are, shaking the tree. So I'm sharing with you, and I know this is a bit long, but there's a purpose for this. And I want to thank you for being a second wave, third wave, fourth wave, now moving into the fifth wave of human beings who are fully waking up, aware that they were always whole and that there was something in the way of their experiencing their own wholeness, trust in life, humanity, and the source of their being. And the thing that is in the way, the interference, is the system of separation. And it's everywhere. It's with you all the time. And the deepest work that you will do will be able to meet it where it is when it's coming at you. Thank you. Go your way. Go in peace. Go where you belong. This is not where you belong. I honor your choice to be something other than I am. Breathe and reset yourself in the entirety of your very complex energy field. That is what moves you through each and every day. You can't see the energy of it. Sometimes you can feel it, but you can't see it. And so, in some sense, you live blind and you live with what I call spiritual Alzheimer's until you don't.